Finally watched The Invisible Man from Lee Winnell and thought it was okay. Wasn't in love with the movie. Um, it's a lot of minimalism going on, which was interesting, but I definitely like his movie *Malignant* way more. I like *Saw* more, which he wrote *Saw* and acted in it. Um, it's not a terrible movie, but first half is a little slow, and you know that the Invisible Man is there. You know that he's in the room with her, invisible. I mean, because it's called the Invisible Man. And in the background, there are the suits when she's running away from him in the house. She's in a battered relationship and she's escaping. You see that there's these suits. So I kind of assume that he's using them. And basically, he's using this suit. He fakes his own death. He's using the suit to basically drive her insane and frame her for murder and make everyone think she's crazy. So they put her in a mental institution. But it's okay. Some things I don't think make sense also, but I did enjoy the movie. I don't think it's great though. Um there could be a sequel. So I'll just get into spoilers now. So basically, yeah, the guy fakes his own death. She's hiding out at her friend's house, this guy who's a cop. And then she gets a letter in the mail, which should have been a red flag there because no one's supposed to know where she is. But somehow gets a letter in the mail from a lawyer saying, we have to settle his estate. He's going to give her $5 million as long as she doesn't have a break, as long as she's not accused of a felony. And of course, later she becomes accused of a felony. She kind of has a rocky relationship with her sister who helped her escape. And that scene, I think, doesn't really make sense because they're in a restaurant together, and then the knife floats in the air for a second and then slashes her sister's throat. And then the knife goes into her hand. So then she gets framed for murder, but they're in a restaurant surrounded by people. No one would have saw that. And also, aren't they all on camera? I mean, at a fancy restaurant, there's gonna be cameras everywhere, probably for insurance reasons, I would think, right? And but no, of course, no one sees it. So, and then she starts freaking out. It's him. He's there, and they put her in a mental institution. And the build up to that, she starts, kind of feeling like he's there without seeing him because he's there watching her. She's staying at her friend's house, who's a cop, and he has a little daughter. And then at one point, the daughter is in a room with her, and the Invisible Man punches her in the face, and the daughter thinks that she punched her in the face, but again, she wasn't even close to her. But she gets hit in the face, but she just blames her. But I guess you would, So. And then, so then she knows that he's there. They leave the house. Basically, the guy says, "You got to get out of my house." And she ends up throwing paint on him. So she definitely knows he's there, and she's just not crazy. And then the thing with her sister happens, and earlier he sent an email through her email saying like she wanted to kill her and she hates her. So it kind of sets up that she has animosity towards her sister and she kills her. So she's gonna go to jail. She's in this hospital. They find out she's pregnant. So the Invisible Man now has a kid. And during all of this, the Invisible Man, I think his name is Adrian, has a brother who's a lawyer, and he's kind of handling his estate. And basically, says, look, go back to him and have the child, and all will be forgiven, and you'll get your life back. And she doesn't want to do that, of course. And then she breaks out of the facility, which that part kind of reminded me of Terminator 2. The stuff in the facility kind of reminded me of that a little bit. And that was a pretty good action scene. But again, I'm kind of just disappointed in the movie because I was really impressed with Malignant. Wait, did he direct Malignant though? That's the thing. Was that James Wan? Oh, that was James Wan. Oh, I thought Leland Whannell wrote that. Oh, he didn't even write. He had nothing to. Maybe he produced it. So they're like good friends. Yeah, James Wan directed it. Okay. Huh. Okay, well, I was wrong on that. I thought that Lee Whannell made that. I don't know. Is this Lee Whannell's first movie he's directed? He's acted in a bunch of stuff. I don't know, but yeah, I thought it was okay. The second half's better than the first half. I like when she escaped with the sequence when she's escaping from the mental institution. She is able to get a pen, and then she finds out that she's in the room with her. She begins stabbing him, which makes the suit malfunction. The suit looks cool. It's a good idea. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe that's possible. It's like projecting images, throughout its whole suit. So it's, projecting what would be in the middle where he would be. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's possible in the future, but it seems like it could be. I guess they're projecting holograms, images. But yeah, I like that. And then she escapes, and it's raining outside. There's some good stuff in the movie, but I just think the first half, I just found it kind of boring, honestly. But I just watched Megalopolis, so at least it's had a narrative that like you could follow, because that movie was all over the place. But I don't know, maybe I found it a little more entertaining because it's so weird. Megalopolis is such a strange movie. I mean, this is a pretty simple narrative. And in the end, spoilers, she ends up killing the brother. She sprays him with fire extinguisher, gets all the white stuff all over him, and then she has a gun and she shoots him. But it turns out to be the brother and not Adrian. And then they raid Adrian's house, and he's found it locked up, like in the basement. And it's pretty obvious he did that to himself. And then she's like, no, he did that to himself. And he set up his brother. Obvious that he did. Because the brother spilled the beans earlier. And it's like, go back to him, have the baby, and all will be forgiven. And it's like, yeah, right. This guy's a twisted psycho. And then in the end, she just goes to the house and has dinner with Adrian. Goes to the bathroom. Puts on the Invisible Man suit, which how does she have, right? Because the one that the brother was wearing, she shot him up, and then the cops would have came to her house, and then they go, okay, this guy has this suit that can turn you invisible. But how does she have that suit? It would be like in evidence, and it would have bullet holes in it, so it would have worked. But there is other suits that are in the basement. Um, so I guess when she went to the bathroom, she ran down there really quick, put the suit on, and then went upstairs and killed him. And they just blamed it on him. I don't know. There's things in this movie that just don't make sense because, like, it's on camera when he's killed. That wouldn't they see the knife floating? And then they know this suit exists. They know that she's in the house with him. So yeah, they would have to, obviously accept that this suit is real. But they did accept that it's real because of what happened earlier, the cops. So I don't know. There's just things that they just don't really make sense. And and then she wanted him to admit what he did to her because she's like, well, if we're gonna have a child together, then you have to begin telling the truth. He doesn't want to do that, so she kills him. And she's being listened to by her cop friend, who the brother almost beat half to death, and he's down the road in his car, and she's wearing a wire. And then she walks away, and she has the suit that I guess was in the basement that she took, and it kind of sets it up for another movie. I mean, I don't know what it would be. She could become like a famous bank robber or something, or art. She could go steal art or something. But I've never really watched the original. I like, Hollow Man's okay. It's an okay movie, and that's pretty much a remake of The Invisible Man. But I think in the first two, he actually takes a serum that makes him invisible. In this, he's wearing a suit. So this tries to be more quote unquote realistic. But Lee Winnell told cinematographer that this horror movie would feature plenty of light, and an invisible man doesn't need to hide in darkness. And he kind of growed with pain because cinematographers love darkness. The attic scene is a little gift that he gave his cinematographer. Winnell and his crew use a combination of old school techniques and state of the art CGI wizardry to bring the man to life, with some scenes requiring a fully green suited actor that could be painted out later, and others achieved with nothing more than a simple bit of string. As a fan of the opening sequence title, Lee Winnell wanted this film to feature titles that are simple yet still speak volume about the film itself. The one here, waves crashes against the rocks, briefly showing the titles before they drip away. I guess it was filmed in Australia. Let's see, how much did this make? It made 144 million. Oh, its budget was only 7 million. Really? Wow, that's pretty good. Wow. Okay. I swore he directed Malignant. That's so weird. Lee Winnell chose to not have an opening establishing Cecil's predicament with Adrian because I wanted to just drop the audience into Cecil's situation without any backstory, make them feel everything through her, and luckily I had Elizabeth Moss, who was very good at communicating a lot to the audience without saying anything. Well, yeah, I'll give her that. I don't think she's a bad actor. I don't know. There's just something about her as an actress I'm not into, but yeah, I mean, I think that was a good choice to not show the relationship before. You just open up on her running away, because kind of like what he is later, the relationship is invisible, and later he's invisible. I think that was a good choice, and it kind of just allows you to fill in the blanks. Like, she does say he beats her, and she's like, and other things too, so you don't really know, but you could see how twisted he is when he is, just slowly watching her and trying to make her look crazy and nuts, and he kills her sister, and then he threatens to kill her cop friend's little girl too. So that was a good choice. So the film main character Celia is derived from the Latin casus, casus, which means blind or eyeless. The original sequence music written for it, Lee Winnell and the sound design team felt it worked better without music and just the sound of the waves crashing. So, but it's all right. I don't know what I would give it out of 10. Armie Hammer and Alexander Skarsgård were the studio's top choices for the role. For the boyfriend, I guess. Isn't Armie Hammer canceled now? Or maybe this was before that. Yeah, look into why he's canceled. It's pretty crazy. What the guy was texting this girl that he was dating. Let's just say he's into eating human, I guess. He's texting his girlfriend that he wants to eat her, and yeah, and then he was canceled. So oh well. Armie Hammer was in what's that Western movie with Johnny Depp, and he was almost cast as Batman, so probably a good thing he wasn't. But according to Lee Winnell, I learned that on Paranormal Activity. Did he help write that? The first Paranormal Activity, produced by Jason Blum, agreed, noting with some irony that The Invisible Man was the perfect monster for the smaller budgeted films created by Blumhouse. Yeah, it is. The effect the Paranormal Activity were all done by director Oren Peli and his neighbor, and it's as a scary movie as there's ever been. I was really interested in those lessons. Yeah, the first Paranormal Activity and this do share a lot in common, but I'd say that's better. But that's a ghost movie, obviously, and this is like a sci-fi horror movie. But yeah, that's about it though. Thought it was okay. First half's kind of boring. Second half's I think is much better. So see you next time.